I went to hell every night, 3 hours a night for 30 nights.
It's supernatural.
I want to introduce you to my guest, Mary Baxter. In April of 1976, at 2 a.m. in the morning, you had a surprise guest.
Well, I was in prayer, and Jesus Christ appeared to me in a human form. There was a brilliant light came into my bedroom, and when the light cleared up, there stood Jesus. And he said, I've appeared to you for a reason and a purpose, that I may take you on a journey and show you the depths, the degrees, the levels and torments of hell. He said it's for the whole world, it's not for a handful of people. And he explained to me how ahead of me would be horrors and sorrows and grief, because he would actually talk to some of the dead in hell, and I would have to record it.
It just doesn't get any better than this. The lady in this interview, Mary Baxter, was supposedly chosen by Jesus during prayer for an all-expenses paid trip to heaven and hell. Apparently, Jesus gave up his humble job as a carpenter. Since his resurrection, the Christ is now known as Jesus the Travel Agent. He carefully monitors prayers, and every so often, he gives out free passes to heaven and hell. Miss Baxter has a website where she has a free copy of her book entitled A Divine Revelation. She asserts that back in 1976, she was praying and suddenly Jesus appeared before her in a great flash of light. After this miraculous display, Jesus spoke to her, saying,
"My child, I will manifest myself to bring people out of darkness into light. For the Lord has chosen you for a purpose, to write and make a record of the things I will show and tell you."
Well, atheist, we finally have substantial evidence. Who could argue with this? It's about time, too, with all the wars, famines, diseases, poverty, misinformation, injustice. Jesus finally found credible representation. He looked down here and saw how we lacked any verifiable evidence, and he got this creative, original idea to pick someone out at random, preferably somebody unknown, to warn the world. Once again, I am simply amazed at the Lord's standards. It seems Miss Baxter also discovered a way to capitalize off her divine revelation by publishing numerous books. I guess the whole given freely and give freely nonsense doesn't apply here. Maybe it's all part of her travel package.
Where is hell located?
In the middle of the earth, and it's in the shape of a human body, and it's on its back.
Wait a minute. What?
It's in the shape of a human body, and it's on its back.
Okay, so apparently hell is in the shape of a human body, at least according to Miss Baxter. Ironically, though, she contradicts herself later in the interview, saying that hell wasn't originally designed for humans.
Hell was not designed for humans.
That's
it was
right.
designed for demons and the devil.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So I guess Satan decided to do a little remodeling before the humans got there. I can picture just how that went, too. Some evil demon board meeting or some shit. One of the demons in the back speaks up.
You know what would really freak people out? A human body.
And they probably argued over it for a while. It's too expensive. We don't have it in our budget this century. But Satan really liked the idea, and what Satan wants, Satan gets. All we need next is a really cool vortex portal entrance. Beats the hell out of an escalator anyway.
How does someone enter hell?
Through a gateway. There's gateways called tunnels. They're kind of like tunnels or tornadoes, and they spin around and back again in the atmosphere, and they're hooked to the earth. And they call them tunnels, but Jesus calls them gateways to hell.
Okay, let me get this straight. The entrance to hell is like a tornado, attached to the earth, underground, into a human-shaped cavity. And Jesus periodically conducts tours. Jesus Christ goes into hell with a small tour group. Please tell me he's not walking around taunting people. Is this supposed to impress me? Oh, wow, man. That Jesus. What a great guy.
As Christ would walk, they would reach their bony hands up because they were skeletons full of dead man's bones. Jesus would stress about his blood to these souls that was lost. He would say, if you'd only believe the gospel, if you'd only believe that my blood was shed to wash away any sin you ever committed, I would have done it if you'd only repented. He stressed that all through hell.
So while Jesus could be doing something useful like, I don't know, maybe warning people here on earth, he's busy trolling people in hell? How come, he couldn't give everybody a tour like this? I mean, you say he went around actively talking to people. These people are, supposed to be condemned, right? Like they have no hope whatsoever. Jesus hasn't come by my house once. All I get are Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons. So far, no Jesus. I guess the Lord works in mysterious ways, or mysteriously trollish ways. I bet this is a really common thing in heaven, too, because everybody that dies and gets to heaven is going to ask about Jesus. Where is Jesus at? Is he feeding the hungry, helping scientists discover a cure for cancer? Is he redirecting dangerous meteorites? Oh, nah, he's down in hell with a tour group screwing with the dam.
Tell me one person you spoke with there and what they said, or that Jesus spoke with and what they said.
Jesus spoke to many, but the main one that really was coming to mind was a woman. She used to be a minister of God's word. Her husband committed adultery. He fell from grace, and so he went to her and told him that he had been tempted and did the sin. Would she forgive him? And she told him no. And he went to the pastor and he asked the pastor. They all forgave him and prayed for him because he was tempted of the devil. And the woman got very angry. She quit reading her Bible. She quit praying. And she eventually let Satan in her heart with hatred and malice. She took a gun and she killed the other woman and she killed her husband and she killed herself. Jesus spoke to her. He said, you should have lived what you preached. You should have forgiven. You should have understood. That's what Jesus told her.
Wow, what a great job this Jesus guy is doing. He waits until we're boiling in hell before he finally pays us a direct visit. That would effectively make Jesus the most incompetent supernatural CEO in existence. Perfect strategy. Write a vague, contradictory book of riddles, become the invisible man, and then just stand by while we fight and kill each other. Just sit there and watch everybody fumble around in the dark, and then proceed to reward some while taunting and torturing the others who lost the cosmic religious lottery. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say
bullshit.
Heaven, hell, these are natural things. What we're talking about isn't fantasy. You that are mocking right now, you're not going to get the last laugh. You're not going to. You that are mocking right now, you're not going to get the last laugh. You that are mocking right now, you're not going to get the last laugh. You that are mocking right now, you're not going to get the last laugh. You're not going to.
you.